In the heart of a small town, Elsa, a fervent lover of gardening, was in her element among the greenery of her backyard. She was planting seeds, dreaming of the lush vegetables they would become when the shrill cry of storm-warning sirens pierced the peaceful afternoon. At first she was bewildered. The town was well away from tornado areas, and the town hadn't had a serious storm since before she was born. Then, seeing people quickly filing into storm shelters, she realized her elderly next-door neighbor had not left her house and went to find her. Elsa found the old lady standing frozen with fear in her kitchen.
I'm so afraid. I haven't been in a storm since I was a little girl.
Elsa spoke very gently to her and finally persuaded the old lady to come to the shelter. The night that followed was a harrowing orchestra of booms and blasts as the tornado and the fierce storm raged overhead. Elsa, Mrs. Bennet, and their neighbors huddled together in the shelter, a flimsy sanctuary against the terror outside. Realizing that the children were very scared, Elsa read them stories well into the night. When silence finally fell and the all-clear siren sounded, they emerged to a world unrecognizable. Although most homes were still standing, their gardens and the very fabric of their daily lives were shattered, including Elsa's cherished vegetable beds. Tools, sheds, even the fences that marked where one garden ended and another began were all lost to the destruction. Amidst the devastation, despair threatened to take hold. One woman sat amidst the rubble of what used to be her home, shock etched across her face.
Everything's gone. How are we supposed to carry on like this?
Seeing the despair around her, Elsa gathered her neighbors and spoke to them encouragingly.
We can rebuild, we can start again, not just separately but together, with help from each other.
She took them to a patch of dry soil and started to draw a plan in the dirt.
If we work together, we can create something that is even better than the gardens we lost.
A young mother called Susan shared her fears.
I struggled to feed my children before, with the pests ruining what little vegetables I could grow. How are we to manage now?
It was Mrs. Rosie, a sprightly octogenarian with decades of gardening under her belt, who answered,
My dear, those pests can be managed with companion planting. We used to plant marigolds with our tomatoes and asparagus, and sunflowers with corn. We've even used to plant nasturtiums with squash plants to keep the bugs at bay without any of those fancy chemicals. That's how we beat the pests in the old days, and we can do it again.
Neighbors held an indoor planning meeting where they proposed a community compost pile to make the soil rich and fertile again. They spoke of rotating the crops to keep the land healthy and the harvests plentiful. Then from among them, another neighbor sparked with a new idea: vertical gardening. They could build gardens upwards on walls and trellises to grow even more food in the limited space they had. Inspired, the community came together, pooling their resources, their knowledge, and their hope. They worked tirelessly day after day, from the very, very old to the very, very young. Even toddlers helped with planting the seeds. Together they transformed the barren wasteland left by the storm into something even better than before. Gone were the fences that once divided them. In their place stood a testament to unity and perseverance, where deep friendships were born. Through their garden, they showed the world that even in the darkest times, hope can take root and flourish.